What's going on, guys, and welcome to the first episode of my NHL 25 New York Islanders franchise mode series. Obviously, our name there is Dynasty, trying to recreate the New York Islanders dynasties of the 80s here. They won 4 straight Stanley Cups. I mean, I'd be happy, honestly, with a back-to-back Stanley Cups. If you guys missed the last series with Seattle, we actually won 4 cups total, so it can be done. Islanders here, you can see top players, Sorokin, Horvat, and Noah Dobson. I think Horvat, Dobson, and Barzal all have the exact same rating of 88, if you guys are wondering where he's at. Now, looking at the team ratings here, obviously, I should mention this is a new roster. This is my Vasi and Tugi's roster V7. Depending when you're watching this, it might be out, it might not. I've obviously got my hands on it a little bit early here, but looking at the Islanders, we're 85 overall. So in the Metro, we're kind of like a middle team, which honestly does make sense. The Canes, the Devils, the Rangers, and the Capitals all above us. Now, we do have the second best goalie in the division behind the Rangers. So having Sorokin, don't have to worry about the goalie position at all. We've also got number 1 defenseman in Dobson. Barzal's nasty. Horvat, depending on our window, I'm not sure if I'm keeping him. In terms of the settings here, guys, we'll keep salary cap and computer trades on. And as always, we're going to have injuries turned off. I know a lot of people want me to try one with it on. I really just do not like it, especially like if all 32 teams have injuries turned off. I don't see how it's not fair. And of course, too, guys, as always, trade difficulty there set to hard, which sometimes makes it unrealistic, but for the most part, just makes it more of a challenge. And then we got the draft class quality and prospect quality set to low. That'll be until 2028 with scoring at medium and shot frequency at high. And finally, guys, just try to get the most realistic sim possible. Attribute effects there set to 9 out of 10, which should make good teams play better and bad teams play worse. You could go 10 out of 10, but then there's no luck involved. And obviously, just like real life, you want a little bit of that. Also, too, guys, while we load in here, I should congratulate the back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. Well done. Taking out Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers back-to-back years, I would say is very, very impressive. Now, before we do look at the lines, guys, I'll first look at the team because we might honestly make some trades right off the start here. I do plan on, tearing this team down a little bit. I think it just kind of makes sense because they got the first overall pick real life. Most likely taking Matthew Schaefer. You guys saw the thumbnail. That's who I plan on taking. So I want to make sure we have a low enough pick that I can, trade up and get that first overall. Dobson at 24. I heard some trade rumors around. I'm keeping him. I feel like he's a guy you can definitely build around for the future. Bo Horvat, like I said, I don't really think fits our window. Pollock as well, we could try and trade. Eisman for sure we'll keep. Same there with Richie. Romanov maybe, but you can see kind of the players we've got. No true superstar, Dobson, Barzal, kind of the closest thing we have to that. Honestly, actually, our superstar is Ilya Sorokin, 92 overall goalie. Yeah, that's our guy for sure. Varlamov, of course, is a decent backup in terms of the draft picks here. So, unfortunately, the Islanders actually don't have any extra draft picks. They just got really lucky with that, first rounder jumping to number 1. So, like I said, we'll see if we can trade away some guys here just to, make our chances of picking high a bit better. Now, I see Adam Pollock has a no-trade clause this year. Then it's a 16-team no-trade, so we can definitely just wait to trade him. I think Ryan Pollock, okay, we got to wait a couple more years. Obviously, can't always ask them. Both those guys I'll definitely be looking to move on from. And as you guys can see here, too, we do have all the latest extensions. So, Palmieri, of course, 4.75 for 2. Not a huge fan of that, personally, but we'll see. Pajot's a guy definitely I think we could move on from. And right now, guys, I'm trying to trade Pajot to the Montreal Canadiens. He can go home to Quebec. Their second-round pick's actually quite valuable as the game doesn't think they're going to be a playoff team. They've also got the Penguins second-rounder, about the same, potentially slightly worse. I mean, it looks like the second-rounder has slightly more value, but it's on the block, so maybe they'd go for this. Trade is rejected. We'll try the Penguins second-rounder instead in case it is slightly lower. And they're still saying no. I'm trying to think, who normally does better in that first round if it's Montreal or Pittsburgh, but maybe if we move on, I don't know, would a 7th rounder really, get it done? It would. Wow, okay, so we got the Pittsburgh second rounder there for Pajot and a 7th. I don't think that's too bad. And again, we're just trying to make moves here to basically make our team worse. Now, unfortunately, guys, looking at the defense, all the guys I'd want to trade have no trade clauses. Dobson, Romanov, I think we can hold on to. D'Angelo, if we put him on like second power play, I think we could definitely flip for a lot more at the trade deadline. And now in terms of the coach for this team, guys, obviously we got Patrick Waugh. So I don't mind keeping him for right now. He's got A+ coach influence, which is the most important stat. Teaching A-, which we'd like to probably have better once we have young guys coming in. But like I said, for right now, he's fine. Honestly, too. The rest of the coaches we can just leave. I like to just, get new guys. We can hire like a new associate coach, assistant coach in the summer. And as always, too, guys, we want to clean up the scouting here. Right now, they got a bunch of pro scouts we don't need. We'll try and just get A+ in all the major regions. And speaking of Patrick Waugh, guys, he's actually having a conversation with us next about the season. So he's saying there's some kinks to work out, but the team is good enough to compete for a playoff spot. Okay, so I mean, if I change it to no expectations, management morale goes down. So I guess I have to agree. I don't really know, like, if you are trying to rebuild, does it make sense not to do that? I'm honestly not too sure. In terms of the preseason focus, if we're trying to maximize trade value, it probably does make sense to go 5v5 right now. Alrighty, guys, we're getting offered a 3rd-round pick, essentially, for Tony DeAngelo. Like I was saying, if we can get him some power play time, I think we can definitely flip him for more. Wow, this is kind of crazy, guys. We're still in the preseason. Dallas Stars are offering us a 2nd and a 3rd for a 3rd, a 6th, and Mike Riley. Basically, this is a second for a sixth in Riley. I thought we got, pretty good return on Pajot. Riley's like a 78 overall D-man. 1.2 million. I gotta see if his trade value is like randomly really high, but no, it's what? It's way down here. I do not understand this one at all. I know it's a 2026 second, but wow, yeah, we'll say yes all day. The trade value bar was also kind of equal. That's a weird one, but what a gift for us. And I just finished through the preseason, guys. The record there's 4-2. Also, Sorokin crushing it. 944 save percentage, 176 goals against. If he plays like that, we're going to make the playoffs anyways, no matter what the team looks like. As you can see, it's not great. Like, we got a decent first line there. Anders Lee, the captain. Bo Horvat, and Matt Barzal. I feel like they'll do fine. But then after that, we got Palmieri in the second line. Decided to actually put Cal Ritchie immediately in the NHL. I've seen him often become a bust in this game, so I figure the quicker we get him in the NHL, getting decent ice time, putting up points, hopefully the quicker he'll grow. And he's starting to see, obviously, in Pajot's spot. Really, can't ask for a better situation for himself. Holmstrom there on his left wing, also a younger player, 23. Hopefully he turns into, a solid contributor for our team. Duclair on the third line with Zizekas and Tisplikov. Duclair's a guy, not a, huge fan of the contract he got. No trade for the next 2 years, 16 after that. $3.5 million is, I guess, fine. Engvall, though, even worse. He's cut $3 million for the next 6. 16 team, no trade. The 1 year, it's a 1 team. So we'll definitely try and move him. He's on the fourth line. I don't know, how much better he's going to get. McLean there, 4C. Matt Martin, of course. I feel like he's an Islander legend. We'll probably hold him until he retires. Defensively, we got Pelech, Dobson, top pair. Polak, Romanov, D'Angelo, Mayfield. So the defense is actually quite solid. Again, Sorokin, they're our best player. We'll be playing some defensive hockey, clearly, looking at the roster makeup. So we'll see if that is good enough to make the playoffs. Like I said, I'm hoping it's not. Power play 1, I've actually got D'Angelo on there with Dobson. Again, we're really hoping he puts up some points and can flip them. Power play 2, Cal Ritchie gets even more ice time there. The rest of the guys, the four-mans, I think the chemistry isn't too bad. PK-wise, again, we have such a solid defense. Our PK shouldn't be too bad either. So I'm definitely curious to see how this team's going to do this season. In terms of the AHL team, it's pretty rough. I don't really expect much from them. They got a decent top 6, but after that, there's really not too much there. Defensively, we actually got decent top pair, Perunovic, Boqvist. Those are a couple more guys maybe we can flip come deadline. And I didn't even realize, guys, that Cole Eiserman's actually scratched, so let me put him in. And it's kind of crazy, guys. The reason Eiserman was scratched was because there's 4 left wingers better than him, but like Beckman here is a left wing / right wing. I don't know why the game, cares so much more about position than rating, but yeah, having Eiserman now including the AHL team, even if they don't, do much better, I'd like to see him do well down there. And now in terms of the ratings, guys, for this first season, wow, that might be the worst offense I've ever had for an NHL team. 80 offense with 87 defense and 91 goaltending. Okay, so let's see what happens. Like I said, all defense this team. Is it enough? And now it's kind of funny, guys. The Oilers trying to trade me the newly extended Trent Frederick with a second for D'Angelo, a third and a fifth. Obviously, I don't really want that contract they gave him. No way. Look at this, guys. The Philadelphia Flyers are willing to take Pierre Engvall from us for free. They're giving up a third and a fourth. We give them a third and a fourth. He's making $3 million for the next 6 years as a 79. I know they have a ton of cap space, but yeah, thank you very much. We have to call up Hudson Fasching. I don't know what Danny Briere is thinking over there, but that was definitely an offer we had to say yes to. Now we probably call up Julien Gauthier just because he is still growing. I want to say he's 26, so there's a chance maybe getting a bit of NHL time and get up to like 78, 79, be another guy we move. Actually, he's 27 now, so I guess he had an early birthday, but whatever. I'll put him on the fourth line there with Martin and McLean. And now the Washington Capitals offering us Mangiapane for 4 and a 6. He's on an expiring deal, so this would basically just be to flip him. I don't really think it makes sense. And now at the end of December, guys, as per usual, we're literally trying to be bad, and we're still in a wildcard spot. 42 points there, 38 games played. Like, I don't get it. I guess the East is just not doing too great. The Red Wings are 45. We need the Senators to wake up. Maybe the Devils behind us, because come on, like with the offense we have, should not be in this position. AHL team, they're doing how I'd hope to do, which is last place in their division. So, I mean, we've already moved a couple guys away. Again, for the defense, we have to wait a year to move Pelech and Polak. D'Angelo does make sense, to trade come trade deadline, but until then, I guess we just have to hope, something changes. And now it's kind of funny, guys. Just like in real life, the Boston Bruins fired Jim Montgomery. Obviously, this is after already trading away Marchand, Carlo, Frederick, but still funny. This is an interesting one, guys. The Avs want to trade us Ivan, one of the best names in the league, with a 4th for a 6th, a 7th, and Hutton. This seems just like a good deal. We get a prospect, we get a higher pick. Usually, a 6 and a 7. Maybe you can get better than a 4th, but Ivan, 22 to a forward, 77. He did play some NHL games, the Avs this year in real life. Hutton there, 75. I don't get this one either from the AI, but again, we're not going to say no. And I'm actually going to put Ivan on the first line left wing in the AHL. Hudson Fashy now third line there. Eisman on the second still with Beckman. We got Maggio on the first. AHL team's not doing great, so might as well, see if any of those guys can perform. And we're getting towards the trade deadline, guys. LA Kings offering us a second for D'Angelo, so I'm going to hold off. I think at the deadline would be like, the time we can get our best price. And now the Sharks have also fired their head coach. I mean, they weren't really supposed to be good, so bit of a glitch there. We're showing the AHL record as the NHL, as you can see. Still very not great. And now the NHL team, 29, 26, and 6. So they're just above 500. We are outside of a playoff spot now. In terms of trading up for first overall, if we don't get lucky, we're going to have to jump probably 10 spots, which does suck. It's going to cost us, a future first or whatever. But again, I want to have Schaefer just like they will in real life. Bo Horvat, they're actually in our team in points, 62. Dobson, 43 as a D-man, isn't too bad. Tispakov as well, 32 points as a rookie. And in terms of the AHL, it's actually Ivan, the guy we just picked up, 43 points. Okay, that's awesome. And now at the trade deadline here, guys, I'm making our team a full-on seller. Hopefully, I don't know if that'll actually affect how we sim. I don't think so, but you gotta try everything. So Jared Spurgeon, Nick Schmaltz, you got McCann, Larson, Raquel, Comfort, Provorov, Grizzlick, Bukestad, Andrew Kopp. Okay, so like I said, our first order of business is trying to get maximum return here for 20 D'Angelo. Also, too, guys, I should point out Polak, Pellick, both up 1 in rating, definitely due to the preseason focus there. Defensive awareness, Romanov as well is up. I think Mayfield. Callum Ritchie is up by 1. Wanted to be a little bit higher. D'Angelo here is an 82. His value looks to be maybe slightly higher. How does he only have 5 goals and 19 assists? We've got him on the top power play unit. I guess 6 of those points is on the power play. But wow, yeah, I really thought he'd produce more than that. And you know what, guys? I'm going to try and send him back to the Rangers here. They're in the Metro. We're obviously, going to play them a good amount. And I was actually looking at EJ Emery here. Medium top 4, 67 overall. Was just drafted 2024 defensive defenseman. I think he could actually be a part of the future for this team. Value actually is on D'Angelo's side. Wow, if we can get Emery, could also get the Rangers second. But if we can get Emery here and I don't know, the Kraken third. The Kraken look to be playing really bad. This would be a great return. Rangers say no. Okay, so I think we're getting a little bit greedy. I tried the Canucks fourth. They said still a bit low. So we'll do the Minnesota Wild fifth. And there you have it. Okay, so I mean, D'Angelo for a medium top 4 defensive prospect and a fifth, I think we did really good work there. And now next year, guys, we're trying to trade Tispakov to the Carolina Hurricanes. He's already 26, so I'm not really sure if he fits our rebuild window. Probably have better forwards. Trying to get back Jaden Perron. Could be a player, 20 years old, 68 overall, medium top 6. This guy is just there for the roster spot, which makes it look like the value's more on their side than it really is. See what they say, though. Perron's on the block. They like Tispakov. Trades rejected. I definitely could throw in, I don't know, the Wild fifth here. I wouldn't do much more than that. And they say yes. Okay, so honestly, part of this trade too is just trying to make our team, a little bit worse here in the last month and a half. See if we can really drop down the standing, just make it easier for us if we don't win the lottery to move up. All right, guys, so the trade deadline is now complete. I feel like we did pretty good work there, just building towards a, future contender. Looking around the rest of the league, Carolina also got Nyquist. They pick up a couple middle 6 wingers there with Tispakov as well. Dante Fabro gets moved to the Sabres. Columbus Blue Jackets get a 2nd round pick. Go Theta to Utah. JT Compher to Boston. Wow, for 2nd and a 3rd, Boston adding's interesting. As I also made a move with Montreal there, gained some picks. Bukestad to the Devils. Seamus Casey there to the Utah Hockey Club. Braden Yeager to the Predators. Interesting to see Jets move on from him. Our trade there with D'Angelo going back to the Rangers. James Schwartz, the Blue Jackets. Devils there also pick up Grizzlick. Interesting, because I feel like their defense already pretty solid. And now Logan Stanley's on waivers. 2 years left at 1.25. 26, 77. If he was a bit younger, this could make sense, but at his age, it's probably just not worth it. And so after the trade deadline, guys, here's an updated look at the team. Again, I thought the forward group to start was pretty bad. Look how bad it is now. Cal Ritchie, 72C, still whatever, but we've got Julian Gothe, who started out the year 3rd line right wing AHL, now playing 3rd line right wing NHL. What a jump for him. I mean, I guess the 4th line isn't too much worse. And then defensively here, again, the same guys, but we got Prunovich being called up for D'Angelo. And so in terms of power play 1 here, I've actually got Cal Ritchie on it, just trying to get him going. He's got 13 goals and 7 assists. Geez, 2nd line with that ice time, getting power play. I don't know why he's not performing more. I know the rating's not great, and I guess the wingers could be better. We got literally Cizikas there on the 2nd power play, just because we needed a centerman. And then in terms of the AHL team, they're more or less the same. So we'll see kind of what happens here. Again, trying to, not win too many games the last month and a half. Are you kidding me, guys? We're having a conversation with Patrick Waugh right now. We've been winning a lot of games since the deadline. There's no way, is there? We start to make the playoffs this season, and we've officially clinched a spot. This is just the classic EA franchise mode sim. We could have fired Patrick Waugh and brought in, some terrible coach to make sure we did do bad, but I didn't think it would be necessary given, like, you know, how bad this forward group is. And as you can see there, we lost the last game of the year, but before that, we won, what is that, 7 games straight. We had a couple, or actually we had 1 loss. You can see just a lot of wins here after the deadline. We literally got worse. We finished 44, 30, and 8. So I guess Ilya Sorokin willed this team into the playoffs. It's going to cost us a lot more now to move up in the draft, but we can still do it. Super annoying, I'm not going to lie. 96 points there, put us 4th place in the Metro, and we actually did better than the Senators and the Panthers. Again, looking at the team on paper makes no sense. The AHL team, they performed as the NHL team was supposed to. And now looking at the NHL team here, guys, Bo Horvat actually put up over a point per game in this first season. Barzal was close there, 79. Dobson, 67 as a D-man's not that bad. Lee had 54. Palmieri still had 50 after that. So pretty big drop-off, which makes sense. Like, we did not really have a ton of guys pitching in. And goaltending, yeah, Sorokin stole the show. 9-2-1 save percentage, 2.56 goals against. He had good defense in front of him. And like I said, we couldn't move those guys, so yeah, I guess the only thing we could have done was, you know, get rid of Patrick Waugh, but I thought it'd be cool to kind of keep him around, maybe actually win with him in the future. Ivan, 57 and 67. He was almost a point per game with us. Before that, Colorado, 33 and 41. So he's a guy maybe could make the NHL next season if he does get decent growth. Yzerman, not too bad. Maggio as well. Then after that, kind of a, you know, pretty big drop off in the AHL team. And like I was saying, guys, it's honestly just insane to me. At the trade deadline, we were pretty far out of a playoff spot, like 8 points, maybe close to 10. And then, of course, they go on a run. McDavid there, Art Ross Trophy, 119. Kucherov, Nuge playing with them, put up 110. Braden Point, 107. You got Matthews there, Draisaitl, Eichel, Crosby, Kaprizov. So a lot of names you would expect. In terms of goals, Matthews actually outscored McDavid by only 1 there, 58 to 57. And kind of surprisingly, guys, Alex Ovechkin only put up 34, so we actually did not break Gretzky's record in this first year. Cale Makar, 91, so probably just like real life, will be winning that Norris Trophy. Brent Burns popped off. Geez, 72. That's one of the best seasons I've seen him have. Then goaltending there, Vasilevsky, most wins, 46. We'll take a look. Like, could Sorokin be winning the Vezina? Anderson, save percentage, 934. My goodness. Sorokin, though, the 3rd best there for a starter, tied with Demko. And then the lowest goals against, there's also Freddie Anderson. I mean, that Canes defense in front of him, plus he's 89. He might even honestly start out at an 88 and grew by 1 already. So, yeah, I mean, makes sense, I guess. And in terms of the rookies, Michka put up 65 and a plus 10 with the Flyers. So, looks like he'll probably actually be winning the Calder over Celebrini, Smith, Demidov, Lane Hudson there. Only had 40. And I should point out Tispakov too there. A couple points back of Lane Hudson, but a much better plus minus. And now in terms of the entire league here, guys, the Lightning actually won the President's Trophy. Tied though in points with Carolina. Philadelphia somehow pulled off a miraculous season. 104 points with their goaltending. Don't understand that. Now we finished 10th in the league with our forward group, so I guess kind of the same thing. Like, again, how do we do better than the Florida Panthers there? The Devils even definitely should have beat us out. The Capitals, Canucks squeak in. LA missed the playoffs. Yeah, so I mean, some interesting results here for sure. The Sharks dead last by a lot, 48 points. My goodness. Goals for the Lightning were first. I don't see us. We're actually not at the bottom, though, which is a bit surprising. Goals against the Carolina Hurricanes are the best. We're the 4th best, though. Again, we had a really good goalie, solid defense. The worst there, the Buffalo Sabres. And now in the first round, guys, we're actually playing the Carolina Hurricanes. So they got Svechnikov, Aho, Jarvis, nasty first line. Nyquist they picked up. They're playing with them, Stahl and Hall. Martinuk there, Jost and Roslovich. Stankoven on the 4th line with Kokaniemi and Tispakov. That 4th line is better than the 3rd line, so I don't really understand that one, but tons of depth there behind that really nice first line. Obviously, Tispakov going to want revenge on us. Slavin, Walker, Burns, of course, had a big year. Orlov, Gosper, Chatfield, like I said, very good defense. Anderson there at 89 now. Kochkov backing him up. So, I mean, I don't see us winning, but I also didn't see us, you know, making the playoffs, so I feel like anything could happen here. The first 2 games, of course, are going to be in Raleigh, Carolina. And we lost the first 2 games, but they were actually tight. Both OT losses. Next 2 games here, of course, are going to be at home in Long Island. And we lose again in Game 3. And we actually won Game 4. Okay, so at least it wasn't, you know, all for naught. We didn't get swept. That would have been, like, worst case scenario. Game 5 now back in Carolina, and it's an OT loss. I mean, 3 of our 4 losses coming in OT shows that this team at least is better than I expected. And now look at this, guys. Just like in real life, the Florida Panthers are your Stanley Cup champions. So somehow the sim can get that right, but definitely had us playing too good. And wow, okay, so Columbus jumps from 3 to 1. Buffalo stays at 2. The Sharks drop down. We should be picking like 17, 18. So we might have to do something where we jump up to like 9, then we go from 9 to 1. It's going to be tough, but should be doable. Also, too, guys, at the start of the season, forgot to look at the contract extension. So Dobson there needs a new deal. Same with Holmstrom, Romanov as well. I think that's it for like kind of good players. Goaltending, Sorokin, Varlamov, both locked up long term. Now Dobson wants a bridge deal. I definitely want him long term, but long term his ass gets crazy. Honestly, I might just wait till the summer at that point because it doesn't make a ton of sense. Now Holmstrom, pretty fair for an 84. Just under $3 million for 3 years. We'll see if we can save like a little bit of money, but don't really mind that ask at all. And then Romanov here wants 6 times 6. That seems a lot for an 84 overall defenseman. So he's another guy I think I'll probably just wait on as well till the summer, just in case, it does get a little bit lower. And we'll take a look here, guys, at the first year player retirement. Usually no one too crazy. Matt Martin actually called it quits. Okay, 36, like earliest he can retire. 1,000 games played, mostly with the New York Islanders. So yeah, shout out him, bit of a legend. You also got Ryan Reeves there. Goaltending wise, you got Dustin Tokarski, and that's it. So kind of funny. I was literally going to keep Matt Martin on that 4th line until he retired. I didn't think it'd be that soon. He's actually a scout now, so maybe we'll have to go sign him. And next year, guys, it's the NHL entry draft. So we got to work quick. We got like 3 minutes to try and get the first overall pick, and I doubt it's going to be on the block. So yeah, we got to get the top pick. Wow, none of these picks are on the block. Okay, so yeah, we have to work really fast here. I'll try going for number 10, Calgary Flames. We're going to get fleeced, honestly. I already kind of know that going in. We'll see here, I don't know, 22 and 54 to get 10 from the Flames. They say no, quite far off. Now I'm adding a 3rd and a 5th here as well. They say yes. I tried like a 4th and a 5th. They said no. Let's see, we got 2 minutes left. So we have the 10th overall. Columbus would actually be picking around 10th, so I don't feel too bad. We can make this happen. Again, basically I'm more concerned with the trade happening than, getting a good deal. We need to have Matthew Schaefer. So 10th plus the Avs first next year. They say no. We are going to get absolutely run over the coals here. We still got 1 minute left. All right, guys, we're like running out of time here. We're going to try 3 firsts and Romanov. This is a stupid offer. And they still say no. Oh my goodness. You know what I should have done, actually? I just realized. I should have lowered the trade difficulty to easy before the draft just to make this trade happen. We got like a little bit of time. Wow, trade accepted. Oh my goodness. What? So I think it was 3 firsts, a 2nd, and Romanov. And honestly, I think we had 5 seconds left to make a trade happen. Oh my goodness. So we got absolutely fleeced, like I said, but we needed Schaefer. They're getting him in real life. He's on the thumbnail. Matthew Schaefer, come on down. And there we go. 80 overall out of the draft, medium elite. I think immediately can jump into our NHL team. Will that be the case in real life? I'm not too sure. Wow, okay, so we'll take a look. I was doing so many moves. I know we lost Romanov. I was, ideally going to hold on to him, but we do save a lot of money and not. And then in terms of the drafts, we still have our first 2026, 2027, 2028, I think 2029. It's the 2031 we did lose, plus the Avs, some seconds. It could have been worse, honestly. And like I said, I mean, this team got some playoff experience, I guess, so that's one solid thing. But I feel like Columbus, they're definitely still got a pretty good deal. And I'm actually trying to make another trade here, guys. The Blue Jackets offering up the 37th pick with a 6th with 34, so moved up 3 spots. They say yes. Now, the reason I'm doing this is to get Ravensburg in. I know a lot of people don't like me getting him. He's kind of like, a cheat code. But honestly, I think it'll make up for all the value we just lost. And also, too, I think I'm going to keep the same rule as last series, just to make it a bit more competitive. Now that we have Matthew Schaefer, I would say moving on, we cannot move up in the first round. We have to stay at wherever we're picking. After the first round, then we can move up. So, Bruce Wicks just went there. I'll show you guys the rest of the first round with the updated roster. And let's see, Lakovic actually dropped to the 2nd. Interesting. Ravensburg, though, is still available. So, like I said, we're going to take him, 72 high elite. Because we have Sorokin, he probably ends up getting moved. After Schaefer here, a made-up guy. Allman went 2 to the Sabres. Misa the Sharks. That's actually realistic as well. Misa probably will go to the Sharks at 2. Martone. I think Blackhawks will take Frondell. Frondell to the Penguins. Higgins to Boston. Desnoyers, Smith. Eklund there. McQueen, O'Brien, Mertka. Yeah, I mean, overall, I think this actually is not too bad. You got Malcolm Spence. Martin there kind of dropped. 74 overall. Going at 19. A lot of guys lower rated going higher. Atchison there as well, 73, still drops to 22. So, I mean, we tried to rank the guys as they're ranked in real life, and for whatever reason, high teams just still pass on certain dudes. And our pick at number 89 here, I'm not really sure. I guess Ekberg, honestly, I think could be a solid pick. I think he's medium top 9, but I don't really mind this in the 3rd. And yeah, he is medium top 9, 63 overall, but we'll see if he becomes a player for us. 5th round here, guys, we get a guaranteed medium starter goalie. That's not bad. Wow, how do you pronounce this name? Neuschwander, I think is how you'd say it. Could also take a chance here on Holland. Could be medium elite Swedish defenseman. Probably isn't, but imagine he is. and he's a medium 7th. Honestly, the medium starter goalie would have been much better. So I think that's actually it for our picks. Overall, I'm happy. I think, like I said, Ravensburg in there kind of made up for all the things we had to pay to get Schaefer. So moving forward, obviously, he's our franchise defenseman. I think a pairing of him and Dobson could be absolutely unreal. And there we go, guys. Holmstrom actually accepted our offer. I thought we got him very fair contract. And so we're looking back at Dobson. We have 21 million in cap space. He still wants 11, but now for 6 instead of 2. So yeah, this is a lot better. I remember, like, before the draft, it was like 15 for 6. So I think looks like signing guys before the draft might not be ideal. And honestly, too, I'm perfectly fine with this Dobson contract. We'll try offering him 10 million first, just save $1 million potentially. And with Romanov being traded away, we actually probably don't have too many more guys to sign. Schaefer, like I said, 80 overall, roll top 6. We will have an NHL this year. And because we got him, Perunovic would just be an AHL guy. I mean, if he wants League Min, he doesn't, so we're just going to let him go. Same with Bulldog here. He wants like 1.1. Actually, we can qualify him though for 800K, so yeah, we'll keep him in the AHL. And I think after that, guys, it's basically just AHL contracts like Iskakov here. He's got some nasty dangles. We'll keep him. In terms of the AHL goalies, Holberg there's 77. This guy, Gamson, 2274 high fringe, could be the backup. Obviously, Ravensburgen's going to take a little bit. And like the two guys down here, honestly, Lennox, only 67 at 22. They'll probably just end up being cut next season. Or actually, you know what I just realized, guys? Because we trade away Romanov, we do need a 6th defenseman. It could be Perunovic, but I think I'll just wait and see like who else is out there in free agency. Julian Gauthier as well, 27 now. He's aged out. We'll just let him go. And I'm looking here, guys. Cal Ritchie's now at 80 overall, which is nice to see. Also, too, we probably need like 4 NHL forwards. I feel like all the guys 77 and lower are definitely, you know, AHL talent. And then, of course, we need the 1 NHL defenseman. So hopefully we can find that on the cheap. But even if we can't, like I said, this is definitely a rebuild year. If we could also add McKenna somehow, that'd be amazing. And there we go. Dobson said yes. We got, you know, our #1 right D for the next 6 years. And like I said, after that, just all AHL deals. And now, guys, it's time to take a look at the free agent class. So Bouchard's there, which I kind of figured with the Frederick extension. Going to be tough for the Oilers to get him signed. They'll definitely have to trade away some guys. And if they do something dumb like re-sign Skinner, they have no money. Paterka there as well, playing hardball with the Sabres. Could happen in real life. Of course, on the trade block, Sam Bennett only wants 4.6. What a steal. Everyone in real life talking about how, you know, if he stays with Florida, it'll probably be like 8. Anywhere else, it's going to be 9 to 10. I mean, we could sign Sam Bennett. Suter there. For Ronk, everything's RFA. Jamie Benn all the way down to 3.9. Patty Kane. Bowen Byram is an RFA. Doesn't really fit for us. We need somebody like on a bottom pair. Romanov there actually with Columbus playing a hardball with them. So I guess first things first, let's look for a cheap-ish defenseman. When I say cheap, I mean it too. Like I want an 80 plus, sub 2 million. And we need somebody left-handed. Ideally, it's a lefty as well. And honestly, looking at the prices, I think we'll probably wait on the defense. Now, goalies, Lucas Dostal's available. He wants 6 million and 83. UFA, so Anaheim, just let him go. That's crazy. I mean, it is kind of an expensive ask, even if you do see him getting better. Now, two-way goalies, really no one great, so I don't mind, you know, keeping our guys. And now, in terms of two-way defensemen, Salen Wallner's here, 68, high top 6. The Sharks, let him go. I know I've talked to people at EA about it, and they said it's, like, almost purposeful. Like, sometimes prospects don't get signed, but I feel like, you know, I'd like to see it a lot less, in my personal opinion. This guy here even, Manishin, hopefully I said that right, with Dallas, 74 at 20, another team interested. He could actually end up being a really good player, and he accepts our offer immediately. And now looking at two-way forwards here, Pelosi with the Boston Bruins not getting signed, 2074 medium top 9. Honestly, the Islanders don't have a ton of great prospects. You guys probably saw that already with kind of what we're looking at. This guy here, Shagabe, that's kind of a funny name. Same thing, 2074 medium top 9. I think, you know, those are good guys to get for free. They probably never make the NHL team. They're probably just, you know, helping out the AHL, but that is more than fine. Dargachensev usually is nasty in the AHL. I sign him all the time. Usually, you know, top 6 in the AHL and puts up points, so don't mind that if we are trying to win a Calder Cup. And now looking at forwards here, guys, as I mentioned, we need, you know, some bodies. Jamie Benn could make sense, just 85, 3.9. I'd probably want him on a 1 year to flip. Nyquist as well, $3 million. Again, that's a guy we could definitely flip. We're going to need, you know, players in our top 9. Zizekas right now is a top 9 forward for us. Ideally, he's a 4C. So Nyquist, 1 year, $3 million. And he accepts right away. Okay, so that's good. Like I said, that is definitely a guy we can flip. Jimmy Benn, he wants the 2, but if we do 1 and offer him more money, we still have 9.2. I'd offer him $5 million on a 1 year. He'll get back to us. Again, we could, I guess, flip him the season after this, but it's a bit riskier in case his rating drops. Mangiapane, 1 year, 3.4 is an 83. Looking at the other prices, I mean, Jeff Skinner, Mangiapane, though, is a bit higher rated. Kind of funny, too, he got offered to us. Jack Quinn we could bring in on an offer sheet. Buffalo Sabres there, need to get their Kai signed. I mean, he's only 23, would be a lot cheaper than Paterka. I feel like that's a trade we could probably look at. So right now, Mangiapane, 1 year. I'll just give him exactly what he's asking for. And he says yes immediately. Didn't want to hear out any other team, so good for us. And that was kind of interesting, guys. Down at the bottom there, our status is buyer. I guess EA thinks we're going to do a lot better than I expect. And I was thinking about potentially trading Adam Pelech, as now we can. He's got the 16-team no trade. The thing is, I'd immediately make Matthew Schaefer our top pairing defenseman. Usually, you don't want to rush, young players too much. Like if his role's top 6, you shouldn't really play him higher than top 4, as basically he's just kind of like, playing too high up in the lineup. We kind of saw that with Richie, so I might hold on to Pelech at least until the deadline, and then if Schaefer is higher rated at that point, then we can move him. And I'm looking at Buffalo here, guys. Jack Quinn could be had for so cheap. They actually like Tristan Lennox, so I said I probably wasn't going to bring back anyways. There's no way him in a third gets Jack Quinn, does it? No, okay. But honestly, we didn't look too far off, and we add a 4th rounder here. I feel like the Avs will probably do the best of those 3 teams. So 3rd and a 4th and Lennox for Jack Quinn. They said just a bit low. They're basically just doing a package of picks here, but I feel like Jack Quinn, especially, on our team, getting a ton of ice time, should be able to, grow a ton. A lot of times, I've had him, kind of lower in the lineup on a stacked team. Now he's got a great chance to succeed. Also, guys, I'm going to fire AHL head coach here, bring in someone new. Even though our AHL, lines are pretty bad, I feel like they still could have done better. And I found the scout, Matt Martin, guys. Unfortunately, he's more of a pro scout, as you can see, NHL, AHL there, and only C overall, so can't really hire him. And for agency, guys, I'm looking at Lundqvist here, 24.79, high top 6. I don't think Dallas is going to have the money to honestly match him at all. So 1.5 for 2, 3 years, a bit more money. We'll just offer him what he's asking, maybe a little bit less. Basically, we want to be able to do it without any picks. Okay, 1.35. We'll see if maybe they somehow cannot match. And I'm actually looking for another 4th liner, guys. Corey Berry. I mean, I know he usually makes Stanley Cup final. Not going to happen with our team, but we'll offer him like 1.5, and then we could probably flip him deadline. And there we go. Jamie Benn said yes. Okay, so we actually have quite a bit of forwards, quite a bit of veterans here. 3rd and 5th for a 2nd. Doesn't really make a ton of sense. And there we go, guys. Lundqvist accepted as of now. Perry accepted, although it's not showing him on our team, so it might have been a glitch. And I guess I know with the glitches, guys, we actually don't have quite enough to sign with that 1.4. So we'll see if he says yes to 1.3. He is pretty far down in terms of available free agents. And there we go. Dallas chose not to match the offer to Lundqvist. I think that's going to work out well for us as a bottom pairing guy. And there we go. Perry said yes. We actually saved 100K. And I just realized, guys, I totally forgot to check the awards for this year. Also, to the playoff tree. So the Florida Panthers in this sim, wow, they swept the Leafs and the Lightning. Kind of funny. In real life, obviously, it was reversed, and they didn't sweep either. The Carolina Hurricanes, they also... Wait, what? What a sim. Are you kidding me? The Florida Panthers literally played the same 4 teams. Leafs and Lightning need to be switched. Other than that, Carolina Eastern Conference Final, they did actually put up more of a fight, beating them in 7. Then the Oilers there, they beat in 5 instead of 6. That is crazy. So, I mean, with our new roster with EA Sim, it actually worked out really well. Also, too, guys, in terms of the playoff points, I see Nyquist had a good run there. 14 and 17 with the Wild. Ben had 8 and 12. Horvat there over point per game. Barzal was close. Corey Berry had 4 and 20 with the Oilers. All right, so I mean, it's kind of cool actually even looking at this with the new players. I didn't realize it would update it. And then goaltending, Sorokin did amazing. 9-2-4. That's why we were even close in those games against the Canes. And in terms of the awards here, again, Panthers, just like real life, back-to-back Cup champs. And the fact that they played the Oilers, honestly, is so crazy. Of course, them getting the better of them again. McDavid, Art Ross Trophy, and the Hart. McCarr, James Norris, also true to real life. Nuge, Lady Bing, Michkov, Calder, Reinhart, Conn Smythe, Anderson there, Vezina with William Jennings. You got Levshina, Bill Masterton, John Tortorella, Jack Adams, opposed to quitting on the team / getting fired. It's kind of crazy. Horvat Selke, wow, okay. That's really cool to see. Don't usually see him win that trophy, so probably, him winning the Selke with Sorokin playing amazing is why this team still made the playoffs. McDavid, Ted Lindsay, Matthews, though, Maurice Richard, and then AHL-wise with the Hartford Wolfpack with the Calder. Denisenko there, most points, MVP. Akuratu, most goals. Perot there, best rookie. Kulichanik, best defenseman. Husso, best goalie. Down in the A, Perot also got MVP. Brendan Brisson there, sportsmanship. Chisholm, community involvement, and then Soderblom, lowest goals against. Same through the summer, guys. Blue Jackets offering us a 4th year for George. George is all right, but honestly, he probably doesn't make the NHL team. A 4th round pick, especially in the later years, could definitely end up being a steal. He is 77 at 21. It's definitely kind of a risk. He was a 4th round pick. You know what? We'll hold on to him just in case. I assume if last year we were a playoff team, wow, this year they have us competing for a cup. I mean, they did have us as a buyer, so I guess that makes sense. I personally don't think we're that good. We probably could be a playoff team, but obviously with the sim, you really never know. I'm kind of, signing certain deals. That way we can move guys to the deadline if we aren't doing well. And I feel like we got a lot of power forwards on the team. Plus, we just signed Schaefer. We have that good defense. Let's improve everyone's physical stats. Lose a little bit of discipline, but we boosted it last year. So you do those two together, you basically lose nothing. And now next year, guys, I'll show what the team is looking like for next season. So on that first line, we got Anders Lee now an 88, which is kind of crazy. He started out at 84. I think, honestly, boosting the physical, maybe the offensive awareness as well. Because what did he do for the last season? I mean, 54 points isn't bad. He's really improved. Unfortunately, he's 35, so this is probably going to be his best season. Maybe the time to trade him, honestly. He has a 15-team, no trade. Yeah, 1 year left on his $7 million. We maybe should trade this guy. I don't think he's ever going to get higher than the rating he is right now. Horvat in the middle there, 90 overall, coming off a Selke trophy. I think it's pretty cool to see. 93D awareness there. Of course, Barzell there at right wing. Could end up being the 1C if Horvat does leave. Got Paul Mary there on the second line with Jamie Benn in the middle, just because he has such a good face-offs, 93. And then Holmstrom on the left wing. Third line is Duclair. Nyquist, we actually have to have play in the center position. Mangiapane. Perry on the fourth line there with Cizikas and Richie. Richie does, get downgraded here, but he's only got role depth forward, so fourth line should actually still be fine for him. Plus, obviously, he's going to, slowly work his way up the lineup if we do trade away guys. In terms of the defense, Pelech, Dobson, still our top pair. Dobson's now at 93. We got Polak there, 88 now, paired up with Schaefer on the second pairing. I think that should be fine for him, especially if he does grow. And then we've actually got Bolduc there, making the NHL team over Lundqvist, playing with Mayfield. He's a left-handed guy, and they actually ended up both being 79s. Of course, Sorokin's still our starter, Varlamov backing him up. In the AHL, Gamson there's a 76. He actually beat out Holmberg. And then we got Ivan, first line left wing, Dragochentsev, Maggio, Eichmann's there. We got Iskakov playing with him. Pelosi we signed. And just overall, the AHL forward group looks a lot better now. Defensively, too, George is actually on the top pair with Lundqvist. And again, we signed him for 2 years. He could get called up next year. Maybe if we make a trade, fills a spot. So still not too upset with that. And now finally, guys, in terms of the ratings for next year, should have more than 80 offense. There we go. We got 87 offense, 88 defense, and 92 goaltending. So if last year this team was a playoff team, I feel like this year they should be again. But again, we're prepared if that's not the case. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this first episode. If you did, leave that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.